Hello from the other side. Hello, Tyler? Are you there? Hello? Hello?
Kay Unscripted, no teeth restricted. In this journey, watch our stories unfold.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is Kay Unscripted. I am your girl Kay, and today we're getting into Love is Blind Season 10 episodes 5 and 6. I'm sorry. This is not funny. But let's talk about what went down in this episode. So we left off with Kevin sitting in them empty pods. Hello. I'm so sorry. Oh my god. I'm terrible. So he walked out of the pods and he's like, wow. Meanwhile, we see Tyler in the women's quarters. Apparently, she made the decision to leave and she's saying that she wants someone to love her the way she loves herself. But girl, if you love yourself so much, you wouldn't be begging this man to pick you, pretty much making him choose you when you know he wasn't going to make that decision. Anyway, he walks back to the men's quarters and then he went in there like, there was no one there. She just left. She's gone. She's not coming back. Well, what did you expect, Kevin? And did you all hear what Mike was saying? He's like, oh, these girls. These girls what, Mike? Really, I need you to explain what you mean by that. Don't even get me started. Now, I wonder what's going to happen with Kia. It's going to be really interesting to see how things turn around. But let's wait to talk about that. So it's now time for the reveal between Brittany and Devonta. They're both really nervous to see each other. And once the door opens, they see each other. And I didn't realize he was so tall, but it did look like he was really tall. But this was quite a nice interaction between them. They seem to be liking each other for now. We'll talk about that later. He then proposes again and she accepts. She said she expected him to be a little bit taller though. And I'm like, girl, that man is tall. How much taller do you need? And to me, what was a little concerning about the interaction is that he pointed out that she's a woman of color. That wasn't what he was expecting. And he also said he's never dated a woman of color before. And I'm like, interesting. Emma then walks into her date with Mike to a beautiful bouquet of roses. He said he's been nervous all day and he couldn't wait to have his date with her. She then reads him a note that she wrote. She gets all teary-eyed while reading it to him. He said that he has never been this emotional before because of the way he was brought up until he met Emma. Y'all should have seen me rolling my eyes at that. But he's so grateful for her and then asked to marry her. And she says yes. Do I believe the connection between these two? Absolutely not. But let's see what happens. Anyways, congratulations to Emma and Mike on their engagement. Now, Mr. Kevin is in the men's quarter. He's venting about what Tyler did. He says he also had these strong feelings for Kia. And there you have it. The guy's egging him on and telling him, oh, it's her loss. She's so disrespectful. You deserve better. And I'm just like, were you all there to see what actually went down? Were you all in the pods too? Because y'all need to shut up. But hear this, y'all. He says he felt pressure to make a decision with Tyler, which is true. It did look that way. But he's saying that Kia is his number one option. And so she's at the top and you still chose to let a woman pressure you into picking her. Kevin, shut up. Kevin, you're not a victim, okay? Now go home. Anyways, they encourage him to go ahead and win Kia, give her this speech, telling him that Kia is waiting on him. And I'm just like, why? Now you're about to waste Kia's time and we're not here for that. Now he goes into the pod. He's on a date with Kia now. He's telling her that she's always been 1 out of 1 and his heart has always been loving and caring for her. Y'all should have seen these eye rolls I was giving. Again, he says that she's not demanding, but she's peaceful and brings this calm to him. What he thought he wanted in her wife is not what he received until he met Kia. You all hear this, right? He then says that she is never a second option. And now Kia's like, oh, I never felt like that. But she says that she does need to get something off her chest. She lets Kevin know that he is a great guy, he's caring and all that good stuff, but he's not the one for her. She just doesn't feel like he's ready for a relationship, and I have to agree with her on this one. Now, is it just me, but before Kia said that, it seemed like he was ready to pick her and possibly even get engaged, but he quickly flipped the script once Kia told him he's not ready and he needs to get his shit together. He started agreeing with what she was saying. Now, Tyler, listen up, because you were talking all that crap, right, when you knew that Kevin was seeing Kia. You see how she defended you? Very demure, very classy, very classy. Take some notes. Now, Kevin, Kevin. Y'all, that man left with no girl but a whole watch. Kia, girl, get your watch back, please. Please take that watch back, Kia. Let's move on, guys. So it's the reveal day for Emma and Mike, and she's nervous about not being his typical type, but she says that he makes her feel like she is enough. He is still concerned about her turning around and saying no to having kids, but he's hoping that she sees how authentic he is and changes her mind. So when the doors open, they meet each other. Again, maybe it was nerves, but I don't think she was that into him. I don't know. I had mixed feelings about the interaction between these two. There wasn't much kissing compared to what we saw from the other couples, but it may have just been editing. Now, this is the part of the show where the 7 engaged couples head on a little honeymoon. So this time they're headed to Cabo, Mexico, but apparently one couple, Victor and Christine, went to Malibu, California instead. They didn't go to Mexico. Now I hope we get to see why, because Cabo is beautiful. Oh my god. So we see Devonta and Brittany, and he's saying that her voice doesn't match the face. Remember, he said he's never dated a woman of color. So I guess it's real confusing to him, but that man is a colored man, so I don't even know what's going on there. So the couples are settling in with each other, getting comfortable on their mini vacation, right? So we get to Alex and Ashley. He's showing some of his scars from surgery he's had. Then they get to talking about books, and in between, he's saying, oh, don't do that. Those eyes. Eye contact throws me. And she's like, oh, I haven't done anything. When I tell you these two irritating the hell out of me, they really were annoying as hell. And him and saying, oh, you're so dangerous. Ashley, your father is going to be really disappointed because he warned you about choosing the wrong type of guys. And here you go again, choosing this man who just wants to jump your bones. And you're going to find out that this is all he really wants. These two are just ready for those cameras to leave the room. So, as it's the couple's first night together, everyone's just adjusting and filling out what the night brings. I know who's not getting none tonight, Devonta. Because remember, Brittany is celibate, so he's not getting none, okay? Watch him get salty about that. So this is the end of episode 5, and we get to episode 6. It's the next morning, and the couples are all sharing how their first night together was. And by the looks of it, everyone's getting down, right? Alex couldn't wait to let us know that they were intimate. Does he know that we don't need to know the details of what went down in the bedroom? Alex is so cringe. Oh my god. So we get to them spending time at the beach, Alex and Ashley. He asks where she sees them in 5 years, and she lists a few things that she would like to do: some adventures, swimming with sharks, visiting Portugal and Spain. And he then mentions Beckham. He says he's not even good at soccer, and I'm just like, Alex, relax. You're saying all that, but you're inspired to be like him and Posh Spice. Oh, okay, Alex. So it's Connor's birthday. Him and Brie are meeting up with the other couples. Brittany and Devonta are the first couple to be there. Then comes Jessica and Chris, followed by Jordan and Amber. And Amber girl, I'm wondering what's going on with your outfit. Is that the only outfit you have? Do you just have it in different colors? Didn't you know you had to bring outfits for vacation? What's going on there? It's looking like you're recycling those outfits, but let's not get into that, okay? Anyways, then comes Emma and Mike, and then comes Ashley and Alex. And tell me, why did he grab her hand like that? Oh Lord. I am about tired of talking about Alex. There is definitely something very wrong about this guy. Now, the last couple to walk in were Connor and Brie. Connor's walking in with his Hawaiian shirt. It's his birthday, I guess. He's dressing down. And when they walk in, they start singing happy birthday to him. So everyone starts introducing themselves to each other and pretty much getting familiar. We then see a conversation with Brittany, Emma, and Ashley. They're talking about how they've been getting it in, but Brittany says that the most physical thing they've done is touching. Remember, she's celibate, so they're not really doing anything besides touching. So while they're all mingling, for some reason, Connor keeps bringing up to Brie that Chris is a cutie, and he keeps pressing her, asking if she hasn't talked to her ex-boyfriend. And now that Chris and Mike are standing right there, they're laughing about it, but I don't know, she looked very uncomfortable with the way Connor was just throwing that out there. Then Brie says, oh, his arms just stopped sweating. I'm wondering if he's just nervous to see Emma. Clearly that does bother him, even if he goes to the guys and say, oh, I don't care who's here, I don't care. You do care. Meanwhile, Bree's in her feelings because no one's acknowledging the intense process that they just went through. Well, girl, that's because they just want to smash and relax and enjoy the vacation that's given to them. Now Connor's sitting with the guys and he's like, oh, one thing I don't like about Bree is that she doesn't know how to shut the F up. And I'm like, whoa, that is a bit much. But the guys are all laughing. He didn't say it in a nice way at all. It looked like he's tired of her and maybe feels like she's a bit obnoxious. But he also said one thing he likes about her is that she allows him to be himself. Now the guys are all seated together. Mike saying that he and Emma are vibing, they're connecting in so many ways. But he's sick and tired of her suitcases already. Now that's definitely going to be an issue because Mike seems like the type that is more organized and Emma may not be that. And for some guys, that is a big deal. These men are just sitting around gossiping about their women and I'm just like, y'all are doing the most. But the girls are also seated together and they're talking about how they tried to figure out each person when they saw them. Amber said that she's loving her nice husky man and he's now giving her a new sense of man because she sees how caring that he is in the way that he responds to not only her but other people. Now everyone's back in their hotel rooms. We see a conversation with Mike and Emma. He says that Amber surprised him based on her looks because she has a child. She says she didn't expect Connor to be how he looked. He then shares with her the conversation he had with the guys about her habits of not being very neat. He says that he's not worried about it, but he's taking mental notes because they're just adjusting, getting to know each other. But that's definitely going to be an issue for Mike, and I can already tell, right? We also see Brie and Connor having a conversation in their room. She brings up again how it bothered her so much that they, as in everyone, didn't have genuine conversations because of what they just went through. And he's either really drunk, tired of hearing the same conversation, or maybe annoyed because she talks too much. He already feels like she just cannot keep her mouth shut. That man was so uninterested in that conversation. In fact, she said he doesn't care. She said she felt like people showed up in the pause one way and showed up on the vacation in another way. Well, girl, that's because people just want to relax, right? Everyone wants to just have a good time. Or she may be right in the sense that people wanted to portray a certain side of them to look really good to get to these engagements, and they're now being the real them. Connor then asked her if she wanted to pull Chris to have a conversation, and she said she doesn't know, which I'm confused about because while she was in the pods with Chris, it looked like she had no interest in him, right? She just feels like exes needed to have those side conversations because it didn't happen. It felt wrong to her. But I feel like she may be needing or wanting some kind of closure from Chris, because what else do you need to talk about? Why are you saying that you need a part two with Chris? If you need closure, just say that, because to me, it doesn't really make sense. Because if you had no interest in him, then what's the reason for you to be sitting and talking? Connor, on the other hand, he did not look happy at all. He didn't feel the need for any of that to happen, right? So it's the next morning and we get a little video from Brittany. She shares that it's been feeling a bit lonely for her. She's been waking up every day and Devonta is not in the bed with her, and she's having to go find him wherever he is. She feels like he's disengaged because she's always the one going in for a kiss or a touch, and that is a bit concerning to her. Now at this point the couple separate and they're just doing individual excursions and having a good time. We witness a conversation between Devonta and Brittany. She shares how she feels like he's been a bit distant. He says he gets quiet sometimes, and that's just to keep him calm. And I'm like, calm from what, Devonta? Please explain yourself. What do you need to feel calm about? We want to know. He says sometimes he just wants to be in his nothing box, he calls it. It's like, us as women, when something is wrong with us and they ask us and we say nothing, when we know very well that something is wrong. So yeah, he wants to be in his nothing box. That's what he calls it. And that right there let me know that he's not being honest about what is going through in his mind, or what is going on in his mind. She asked if when he's in that mood, does he not want to be touched? And he said, well, if it's hot, don't touch me. So she peeped that and she's like, oh, but here I am. I've been trying to kiss you all day. Meanwhile, you're in this funk. Devonta, you're going to have to learn to communicate better and share what is going on in your mind. Just like men don't want to be mind readers when it comes to their spouse, she cannot read your mind. You have to let her know, because she can feel the energy that you're giving her. And if you don't tell me that it's not about me, I'm going to automatically feel like I am doing something to you that is putting you in a funk, right? Now let's get to Mr. and Mrs. Hump. Alex and Ashley. And every time this man talks, he comes off like he's the hottest commodity. He's always bragging, always boasting about what he's been able to do, what he can do, and how he can move from this side and that side. He can get any job that he wants. And I know he probably thinks that he's being confident, but it's not coming off confident at all. He says he doesn't feel nervous about living with her. In fact, he's confident in who he is and what he brings to the table. Just like I said, he thinks it's confidence, but actually it's arrogance. It's coming out really arrogant. So it's also Chris's birthday. He and Jess are having dinner. She asked if he's certain that his parents wouldn't be disappointed with not having kids. And he says no, in fact, his mom just wants him to be with someone who loves him, understands him emotionally and physically, and that's not only what he needs but what he has, and that's with Jess. These two are so cute. I like them and I hope they go till the end, right? So apparently there's a pool party and all of the couples are at the pool party. Bree still can't let go of the fact that everyone's just enjoying themselves without the side conversations, right? She finally gets to sit down with Chris and she's pretty much saying he doesn't look like the picture she had formed in her head. She mentions that she told Connor she couldn't wait to talk to Chris, and I'd have to agree with Connor. Bree talks a lot. That girl can talk. Oh my goodness. For me though, it looked like she was looking for some kind of validation from Chris, and I feel like she's probably second guessing her feelings for Chris now that she's seen him in person, and that's definitely making Connor insecure. He did say that he has some insecurity, and I feel like, I don't know, something is brewing between Chris and Bree and Connor. It's a triangle, right? Connor now decides to have a conversation with Emma. They start off with small talk about how they're both enjoying their partners, who's neat freaks and who's a little messy. But Connor says, "Oh, if he's giving you a hard time, just call me." Connor, what does that mean? Explain yourself, please. I want to know, what does that mean? Now, these couples decide to play Never Have I Ever, and we know these games never go down well. Every time they get to play in this game, somebody always ends up in their feelings. And just like that, people's feelings always get hurt. Clearly, something else is going on with Devonta, because apparently he's never had a hickey and seems a little bit hurt about it. He doesn't want to be honest that he felt a little hurt. He is killing the vibes. Oh my god, it's giving Debbie Downer, party pooper. Devonta, go back to the hotel room, please. Now, he has her wanting to give up her celibacy because he's in his feelings because everyone else is sleeping together except them, and she's now saying, if that's what you want to do, if that's what you want, then we can do it because we're going to be committing ourselves together, and I just want to make sure if I'm committing myself to you, then it's okay for us to have sex. Meanwhile, he's telling the guys, oh, she's just always needing reassurance from me because she thinks something is wrong. Well, she thinks something is wrong because you're in this funky mood, you're killing the vibe, it's giving low vibrational, and you're not opening up to her about what is going through your mind. So Jess is talking to Brittany, right? She encourages her to go talk to him because he's probably not aware, and it's better to talk about it now for it to blow up into something bigger. But she's done that. She's brought it to his attention, and he said that he's in his nothing box. But I do agree that she may need to bring it up at another time, maybe not right now. Meanwhile, Chris is over there gushing over Brittany. She's exactly his type. We see them having a sit-down conversation, and he immediately says that Ashley isn't the type he would go for. There are certain features he likes on his woman, and he's kind of figuring out if the physical matches with the emotional. Brittany asks if he's had that conversation with Ashley. He said he has done so briefly, but does feel like they need to talk about it some more. And again, I am so surprised because isn't she home anymore? She's not dangerous again. Oh, okay, Alex. She also says that Devonta isn't her typical type. She's more into athletes and tall guys. What I found interesting about this conversation is how he said the physical needs to meet at a certain point, and if it doesn't, it would be like settling. Now, once he said that, he caught himself and he's like, oh, let me rephrase that. He said, oh, this is a prevalent part of this process, and both Ashley and Devonta would have to understand it. Did it feel like he was shooting his shot at Brittany? Because for me, it definitely felt like that. And the part that has my mind blown a bit is that he's saying she's not his typical type, as in Ashley. And all he's been talking about is jumping her bones. So she's good to screw, but probably not to commit to. Then why did he mention to Brittany that he likes dark features on his woman? It's clearly because he is feeling Brittany. He's attracted to her, right? Alex, we see you. All day, every day, we see you. We know your type. And you cannot fool us because we can see right past it, okay? Now, funny enough, though, they get back to the hotel and Ashley's asking Alex, "Oh, any interesting conversations?" And he's like, "Oh, no. I mean, just normal conversations. But it's more so about their partners. No flirting whatsoever." But he kept out the part where he said she's not his type. He didn't bring that up. Alex made it seem like he was just giving Brittany direction because it may have been a case where they were talking for an extended amount of time, which is why Ashley brought it up to his attention and he's like, "Oh no, I'm just talking about Devonta to her." The lies, the lies, the lies. Okay, we get to Brie and Connor, and she's saying how happy she was to get a part 2 with Chris, and it has nothing to do with being emotionally attracted to that person. He's still not feeling that at all. Connor is not happy with that. He feels like once you cut things off in the pods, you move on. But it seemed like she had unresolved feelings. Connor says that usually he's probably not going to speak up but end up resenting her. But I guess by him being upfront about his feelings is showing some form of emotional growth because he knows this is about her and what she needs and it's not about him. Now, I applaud him for being open about how he's feeling. I definitely feel like Brie is second guessing her choice because why did she say when she saw how happy Chris was, she realized that there wasn't anything to debrief about? Seriously, Brie, what more do you need? You still have feelings for Chris, and that's what it is. You need to be honest about that. But we end this episode off with Brittany bringing up to Devonta the lack of affection and attention that he's not giving to her. He feels like she's nitpicking and taking things personal, but he just doesn't want to be cooped up in the room. Or so he says. Devonta's, in my opinion, trying to gaslight this girl, but he finally says, "Oh, if I don't have anything to say, then I'm not going to be sparking a conversation 20 hours in the day." I'm sorry, what? I don't think that's what Brittany was saying at all. Just say you don't like her. Just say you're turned off by her because she's not what you want and be done with the conversation. He's saying that he has had all these things in his head that he's trying to figure out. But Devonta, maybe try to be vulnerable with her like you were in the pods and share some of your thoughts because it's coming off like you don't want to be there. You chose to stay in the experiment knowing that you lost a family member. So please don't hold that over her head. To make things worse, she's talking to him and he's not giving any kind of eye contact. He keeps looking away. He looks so uninterested in the conversation. And I felt so bad for Brittany. She just got up and left the room. Y'all, this is where the episode ended. That's all I have for you on the recap of Love is Blind Season 10, episodes 5 and 6. And from the looks of it, it gets messier. But that's all for now. Please share all of your thoughts with me. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.